This is going to be the toughest fight of his career.
Sharp, relax.
The most embarrassing fight of his career.
Chair across your face.
Yeah, I think he's about to cry.
The boxing world is in total shock right now, and Anthony Joshua is standing right in the middle of the chaos. Fans, former champions, and top analysts are blasting him for taking what many believe is the most unnecessary and easiest fight of his career. The second the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight was officially confirmed, the sport instantly became divided. One side is calling AJ a sellout who's chasing a payday instead of legacy, while the other side is defending him, saying he's earned the right to fight whoever he wants.
Who did Terrence Crawford fight his 11th fight? I don't know. Who did Arthur Beterbiev fight? Jake Paul has found a way to make himself the cash cow early in his career to where we shouldn't care.
Jake Paul has become the fighter right now that everybody wants to fight because right now he is the cash cow. He made $40 million just off of Netflix.
He has found a way to do something with his following, get under people's skin to make people care about these fights.
What advice would you give to somebody like AJ?
That he has a lot of talent and not to get discouraged. He only loses when he quits. When you quit, all the doors of opportunities close. You know what I mean? You just got to be, you have to be game. And then don't get discouraged if you lose. Listen, you just lost. You may have got $30 million. You should give Usyk a kiss and say, can we do this again? Don't let this internalize you. Oh, I can't fight now. This white boy kicked my ass. People are laughing at me. No, he kicked my ass for $50 million or $30 million. I hope he kicks my ass again. But this time it might not work out that way. I'm gonna kick his ass. I just think the more time you lay off, the worse you get. You have to fight to be the best. You have to do it more and more and more.
What do you say to the people who say Anthony is ruining his legacy just by taking this fight?
Fans don't respect what he's done in the sport already. He's an Olympic gold medalist, two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world.
I sort of sympathize with him because I feel like if he doesn't beat him quicker than he beat Francis, people are just going to write it off. I'll ask you bluntly, have there been any discussions about there's an agreement, there's a secret contract? Have any of those discussions happened regarding this fight?
It's an 8-round professional fight. AJ wouldn't have taken it if that was the stance it had to be, if it was an exhibition, if it was you've got to hold him up for 8 rounds. It wouldn't suit Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is going in there to knock out Jake Paul.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago. And now all of a sudden, he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. He can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So it's just ludicrous. It really is.
Biggest backlash is coming from hardcore boxing fans, traditionalists, and even legends of the sport, including Floyd Mayweather. They believe Anthony Joshua should never have entertained this matchup. In their eyes, a former 2-time heavyweight champion should not be sharing the ring with a YouTuber who hasn't earned the resume, the achievements, or the pedigree for a fight of this size. They argue Joshua should be focused on names like Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Zhilei Zhang, or even Joe Joyce elite opponents who pose real danger, real competition, and who have spent their entire lives grinding for opportunities like this to those fans. AJ stepping in against Jake Paul looks like a bad joke. They say it damages his legacy, disrespects the heavyweight division, and makes the sport look weaker than ever. But here's the part most people refuse to acknowledge. Anthony Joshua is at a stage in his career where business decisions matter just as much as championship belts. Boxing is unforgiving. The window to earn life-changing money is short, and history shows Joshua has always taken on the toughest challenges. Remember, he fought Andy Ruiz not once, but twice.
Glaze in that question, and you know, that seems like a very friendly question to Jake, but you know what? It's a fair question. I'm not mad at the guy for phrasing his question that way. And again, yes, that's because Jake has a massive name and a massive spotlight. Without that, Jake is not fighting Anthony Joshua in his 14th fight. But on the other side of that, the risk involved with fighting Anthony Joshua here and some of the fights that Jake had in his first 10 or 11 fights, most pros were either having worse opponents for. So when people discredit Jake's career by being like, he didn't fight this guy, he didn't fight that guy, he didn't fight a number of this contender, number that, look at your favorite fighter in their first 14 fights and you pick out the opponents that they had and the level of them. Sure, you'll have your outliers, your Vasily Lomachenko's and other guys that fought tough competition right away, but most, and I mean most meaning 95% of the sport of boxing, had tomato cans until he had 15 to 20 wins. Give Jake his credit. He's fought guys that even were better on his resume than some of your favorite fighters, and now he's fighting Joshua this early. That deserves the credit that I know and the acknowledgement that I know Jake is looking.
And it's a lose-lose for Anthony Joshua. However, given all of that, both men are going to make $92 million each. So forget my opinion. Who gives a damn when you can bank $92 million for having a little move around in a boxing ring? Fair play. You can't on that. However, let's talk about it. The reason I say that it's a lose-lose we'll start with Jake Paul first. The reason I say it's a win-win for Jake Paul is because, listen, if he wins, then he's beating a former heavyweight boxing world champion, certainly one of the best heavyweights of his generation, and of course, a man that is way bigger than Jake Paul. Of course, it's a win. And if he loses, it's still a win for Jake Paul because he had the balls. He was man enough. He was willing to test himself. He would prove everyone wrong, all his critics, like me. By the way, I'm not like out there on an island by myself. Everyone says the same thing.
He's already stepped into the ring with Alexander Usyk twice. He went to war with Vladimir Klitschko when the man was still a serious threat, not a fading name. Anthony Joshua has taken punches that would have sent half the heavyweight division into early retirement, and yet he's still here, still dangerous, still headlining. So when a massive financial opportunity drops on his doorstep, when a crossover fight becomes a global spectacle, when a streaming giant like Netflix wants to create the biggest mainstream boxing event since Mayweather versus McGregor, can anybody honestly be shocked that Joshua said yes? His supporters are calling out the critics, arguing that the same people trashing AJ would sign the contract instantly if they were offered that kind of life-changing money. They say it's easy to judge from the outside, much harder. When you're the one who has survived the sport's harshest battles and earned the right to cash in.
Wallin, and he beat him convincingly.
Yes.
And that's all he can do. And I think that he should take the praise from that and build from it, but he shouldn't want the criticism to stop because I think it fuels him.
I'm one with you, and I said that to Joshua in one of the interviews that I'd done with him. I said to him, listen, I knew he was very angry with TalkSport and the criticism he was getting from TalkSport, etc. And I had that conversation with him and said, listen, Josh, you should be feeding off that. That's what good fighters do. You feed off that. Go and prove them wrong. That's where your fuel should be coming from. And I think to a certain extent he's sort of done that. I said, look, you're like, if people are talking about you, it's a good thing because that means that you're doing something right.
He wasn't ready for Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua was a different thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just he's got more one-shot knockout power.
Bad game
he took it
plan
more
as well,
seriously
though.
too.
He likes to switch in, but again, this is where the boxing is. If you don't have that kind of intellect in the boxing, that footwork and foot positioning is put your foot on one side, you're going to get killed. You put your foot on the other side, you're safe. You can kind of manage the power and see the punches coming. But he kept switching stances, but just leaving himself in just the wrong positions.
Yeah, he wasn't ready.
Wasn't ready. There was a lot of hype off the Fury fight.
Also, Joshua got to watch him box in the Fury fight, see some patterns. Fury, I think, probably took him lightly.
Yes, I think so.
He's one of the greatest of all time. This guy's never had a boxing match. At the beginning of the fight, he's like, time to go to school. Like, oh, really?
Supporters of AJ argue that he has earned the freedom to choose his path. After everything he has given to the sport, they say he has the right to secure generational wealth without answering to anyone, especially not bitter fans or critics. In their eyes, anyone who can't understand that is either envious or completely disconnected from the realities of a fighter's career. They also note that this event will likely draw more global attention than any other heavyweight fight on the schedule this year. And if Joshua goes out there and delivers the expected result, he'll leave the ring with a massive payday and a knockout moment replayed across every screen on the planet at this point. The debate goes far beyond footwork, jabs, and boxing fundamentals. It has turned into a discussion about ego, legacy, financial security, and the evolution of the sport itself. Is Joshua avoiding risk or simply making the smartest move possible? Is Jake Paul insane, or is he a marketing mastermind rewriting the rules? The one thing everyone agrees on is this: the sport is divided. Some legends insist Joshua has lowered himself for this fight. Others say he's using his star power wisely in a new age of combat sports, and with the fight set for December, both men deep into preparation and the hype growing louder every single day. This storm is only getting started.